All right, folks, welcome to the Gritty Podcast. I'm Brian Call, and I am back with more lessons from the backcountry. This is the one-eyed mistake. That's what I'd call this episode, the one-eyed mistake. Kind of has a lot of ways you could interpret that, but let me explain it to you in this episode. I think you'll, some people will mock me for it because this is a mistake, big mistake that other guys don't make, but I did. So it's going to be useful information, though, for many of you. If you stick around for this show, you're going to walk away with some hard-earned lessons from a real hunt. This is footage, by the way, that many of you have never seen. It's a big bull elk, walks in front of me. Brad was filming. But it's not my best moment. So if you're listening to this, you might want to go and watch the video version of it on our YouTube channel. I'm going to break down exactly what went right, what went wrong, and what I'd do differently if I had this bull in front of me again, because I wouldn't make the same mistake 3 times. All right. So let's get into it. A few years ago, I was hunting elk in early October, archery. We'd heard them bugling in a canyon the night before, so we slipped in at first light down this mountain, down into the bottom of the canyon, moving quietly in my leather stockings, checking the wind, doing everything right to get as close as I could to the elk in this bottom. And things were going really well. The elk were rutting down low at night in the bottoms because the wind blows downhill and they like to do that. And then they'd move uphill at sunrise to bed, kind of halfway up the hill and some benches. So we knew the thermals would switch in the morning, that the air blows downhill at night, but uphill when the sun warms the ground. So our plan was to intercept the herd before that wind switch. So we kind of moved down in the night. The wind was a little bit at our back, but we were coming down the mountain where they were not below us. And then once we hit the bottom, then we could move parallel on the flat at the bottom and intercept those elk on the edge of the meadow and the timberline they would enter on their way to their bedding area. It worked like a charm. I crept into about 40 yards of a group of elk. A nice 6x6 bull with a busted main beam stepped out, mud all over the antlers from wallowing. He stopped behind a tree. He put his vitals right where I couldn't shoot. Brad was to my left where the cameraman is. He has an angle. I did not. I was to his right. There was a tree blocking my view of his head as well. So not only could I not see his vitals exactly, I couldn't see his head. So in that situation, I was trying to determine, as the bull came up, all the elk were chill, and all of a sudden he kind of trots and then stops and jerks his head up. Well, I can't see his face, and I misread his body language. I thought he'd like kind of spotted me or something had gone wrong and he froze, but he hadn't. He was just locked in on his cows and being horny and cocked his head up and was kind of lip curling a little bit. And so I was at full draw. I knew he was exactly at 39 yards. And at that moment, I misread it, and I assumed that the bull was onto me, and he wasn't. And that caused another cascade or series of errors that happened because instead of remaining calm, the bull, not only could I not see, but then when he moved forward, he didn't just meander. He'd meandered for 20 yards. All of a sudden he froze, picked his head up, and then all of a sudden he trotted. He didn't just walk gently, he trotted. So all of a sudden I thought it was over. And that caused me to cow call, try to get him to stop, and it caused me to take a rushed shot. So here's what went wrong, though, where it really went south. The body language in hindsight, and I know this because I have video. I mean, video does teach me a lot of lessons. And I would have assumed I was correct, by the way, until I watched the video back. In the video, you can see the bull is just kind of cocked up, doing bull things. And when he trots at an angle, he trots from my left to right. And when he does that, he trots toward his cow. And all he wanted to do was just get up to his cow and smell her and just kind of, be a man. And I misread it as he was spooked and trying to push his cows away. Totally misread it. And he trots up at an angle toward the cows. Well, in that moment, instead of just staying quiet and letting that bull make his move and then just stand still. I try to cow call, stop him, grab that shot in a rush scenario. And couple things combined to cause me some consternation. So one thing I did was I closed one eye. I was at full draw. My left eye kind of closed, and I was looking at him through my peep sight. And as soon as he trotted, I was focused on that crease on the rib cage and really trying to keep my pin there, focused. And when I had my left eye shut, mostly as I was looking through the peep, I didn't realize that he wasn't moving left to right as much as he was moving diagonally away from me. And I didn't notice the distance that he had covered, probably 8 yards further away. So from 39 yards, he was like 48, 49 yards. So I needed to account for that adjustment. I kind of in my mind in that rush scenario with the eye closed, just tracked him left to right. Eye was closed, assumed he was parallel still, basically had moved parallel. And I really didn't account for the distance change. I settled the pin and I put the pin exactly where I wanted it, and I didn't rush the controlled shot. I did all that kind of stuff pretty well. Felt really good about that, but I did not really adjust for yardage. Hey guys, if you like what I do and you want to support me and you want to be entered to win a brand new truck and 8-ax trailer, overland trailer, come over and join the Gritty Hideout. Go to staygritty.com, click the Hideout button. You could win a brand new prime bow. We have a brand new film over there called Of Bears and Men. You can get early access to that if you're a member, and we do live streams every Monday. So if you become an annual supporter over there and join the Hideout, get access to all that stuff. Plus, you get 100 entries to win the truck and the trailer. It's pretty cool. And you can also win if you just go over to blackflag.com. Just use the code GRITTY, and every dollar you spend is an entry to win. So that's it. Just join the Hideout. Go to staygritty.com, click the Hideout button, see what it's about, or shop at Black Flag. Thanks for tuning in. Now let's get back to the show. So that was one of the mistakes. Now I try to keep both eyes open. When I'm practicing in the yard, I keep both eyes open. I'm trying to practice shooting with both eyes open. Gives me depth. I see a little bit more of what's going on around the animal. I don't get target locked as much. And so I practice that. That's one thing. The other thing was, really take a minute to confirm yardage. It doesn't do any good to take a shot if you are aiming and the animal's further than you think. I just needed to take a little bit of moment and go, is he still 39 yards or is he 48 yards? Is he 45 yards? In that same vein, I knew at 39 yards, putting my 40-yard pin on him, that I still had a lot of room to aim high. I didn't need to aim for his heart. I didn't need to aim that low on his body cavity. There's plenty of body cavity to hit. I could have just moved it up and because I knew he was further than 39. If anything, he was a little further. He wasn't closer. But all those quick calculations fell out the way. I put the 39-yard pin on him and I took the shot. The arrow passed through so close. In hindsight, I called to stop him instead of letting him pause on his own. As I said, I thought I misread the body language. And when I called, I got stuck at full draw. The cows all looked at me. The bull never did. I felt rushed. I still took my time to execute a good shot, but I didn't, again, really get to calculate the yardage. The arrow looked perfect at first, but it dropped just an inch too low, missing the heart. We tracked him a long way, but the hit wasn't fatal. So, I'm telling you that arrow passes through. If it was an inch higher, that I'd have hit that heart. So it was close. It was close. So the things that I learned, what were my takeaways from this hunt? Well, keep both eyes open when you're aiming at an animal at full draw. Try to keep both eyes open so you have better depth and angle. You can see, you have more awareness of the animal's movement. Don't get target locked like I did. And I practice that way now. Perhaps, one of the other things that really, bothered me about that, I normally stay really patient in those situations, and I don't assume the animal sees me or I'm busted, and I let it stop naturally. I'm pretty good at that. In this case, I'd been a little rusty, been a minute since I had a bull in front of me with a bow, and I just assumed the worst, and I didn't need to. That was a big mistake on my part. And, I really didn't adjust. I should have easily been able to adjust for about 5 yards and made a better shot with the yardage. and to smoke that bull. So at that time, back then I was shooting a 520 grain arrow, Valkyrie setup. Dude, that's a heavy arrow. It's a lot of overkill. Now I'm shooting a lighter arrow setup. It's a 440 grain, 450 grain arrow. It flies a lot faster at that 40 to 50 yard range. It has a lot better oomph, and it's a lot more forgiving between those ranges than my old setup was, especially with the bow I was shooting. Slow bow, heavy arrow, quite a bit of drop between 40 and 47, 40 and 48 yards. Now my arrow's flying 300 feet per second, a lot faster. It's a lot more forgiving on elevation at that 40, at that further range. So I can misjudge the yardage and still make my shot with the setup I have right now. And so it's just a little more forgiving. So what are my key takeaways? Keep your eyes open. Try not to shoot with one eye closed. Don't panic. Stay calm. That's always the recipe for the day. Adjust your range. Make sure you adjust your range when you need to. Pretty self-evident. And shoot a setup that's a little faster. That way, you have a little more forgiveness at those longer distances. So I hope this was somewhat helpful to you, because I know it sticks in my mind. It's one of those moments that haunt me. Stupid mistake. So many things that went wrong when I had this bull like dead to rights. And again, just a series of events that sort of compiled in the perfect moment to blind me to his head. I mean, dude, that bull could have stopped 2 feet sooner or 2 feet later, and I would have had a 39-yard shot of him camping there broadside. Or if I was standing where Brad was, I probably could have slept an arrow in that pocket. Just some bad luck where he stopped right where I had a tree in front of me. Of all the areas he could have stopped. And in that moment, just getting caught up, frustrated, impatient, thinking he saw me because I could see his antlers. The truth is, if I had just been calm, that bull was going to trot right up behind that cow, sniffer for just a moment, and give me all the time in the world to split my 40 and 50-yard pin for a 45-yard shot and take a nice and easy, calm shot. Instead, I called. The cows ripped their heads over, looked at us, didn't see any elk, got antsy. I had to rush. A lot of things went wrong. So anyway, I hope that you got something out of this. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Just so you know, I'm going to be out hunting elk and mule deer and mountain goat with a bow in August and in September. But I've got a 26 episode series of Daniel Boone from our Dueling Pistol show that I'm going to put up on the Gritty Podcast during that time. Give it a chance. Give it a look when you get a chance. I think you'll enjoy it. And if you're interested in watching our new film of Bears and Men for $10, you can head over to the Gritty Hideout and become a supporter over there. Just go to staygritty.com, click the link that says Hideout, and it'll give you all the details there. You could win a prime bow as well. Thank you for always supporting us, and we'll catch you on the next show. Good luck this season. Stay gritty.